What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the NYG Blue Zone. It's your boy Attikis. A little bit of a late start for me today. I am headed to the office, but I had a few things I needed to do. This time of the year, the Christmas season is upon us. If you celebrate Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, all of the things that helps to create a real festive atmosphere this time of the year. I enjoy it because families get together and sadly, we live in an era where, unfortunately, a lot of times tragedy brings people together. But what I like about this time of the year, and regardless of what your religious ideology and beliefs are, people generally get together, and it's a festive atmosphere, and I really appreciate and like that. So, but business slows down. It's really funny, man. Like people show up to work, but don't really get a whole lot accomplished, and it's just an interesting time of the year. So I am on my way to work and I'm going to try to be productive and do the things I need to do to resolve issues for people and have a good day. But I wanted to recap. This is the Monday therapy session. Once again, the Giants lost another game. This time it wasn't a heartbreaker. They just seemed a little bit disjointed and unable to produce anything outside of running the ball yesterday. Overall, I will say I saw the best defensive effort from the Giants that I've seen in a while. Probably since the Chargers game, that was pretty good, and maybe even the game where the Giants hosted the Eagles on Thursday Night Football. That was a pretty good performance by them also. But I thought Charlie Bullen really drew up the pressure. Like he had, I don't know what the blitz rate was yesterday, but he seemed to be taking a page right out of the Brian Flores playbook, and he was effective. He got pressure on the quarterback early and often. The Giants were able to get 4 sacks, 2 by Brian Burns. Chauncey Golston got one. And Abdul Carter is impressing lately. Hopefully some of this energy that he's been able to harness over the past couple of weeks can continue for him. The Giants obviously lost the game, but we won by losing, I guess you could say, because the draft is right around the corner and we have so many holes that need to be filled as a team, as an organization. And it really starts with the top, with Joe Shane, who, and ad nauseum, we've discussed how we just don't see a clear path for him to remain as the general manager. The team is in complete disarray. When you've got a franchise quarterback, you've got a couple of good players on the team, but I don't even want to start talking about the quarterback before I just take a look at the depth that we're missing as a team, as an organization, and even some of the pieces that we appear to sorely be lacking on a coaching staff, probably with the exception of Carmen Brasillo. And I would say that, I don't know, Charlie Bullen is showing a little something that you can be excited about, but I don't know that that even matters at this point. I think they got to kind of like tear the whole thing down to the studs and really start the process over. And I've said this time and time again. I know I feel like a broken record. I probably sound like a broken record, but the Giants really need to change the general manager. And I haven't even begun to look at who potential candidates would be to fill that job, but something's definitely got to change. And I would like to see that change happen before any decisions are made with contracts, any decisions are made with the draft or free agency. I don't want to see Joe Shane have his hand in any of it. And then a part of that is I don't know that matters too much. And feel me on this one, because ownership is the one constant that has been in place, and different family members of the team being in a room where the strings are being pulled and decisions are being made. And I don't know how much influence they've had on shaping this team and constructing this roster, but it seems like the common theme, no matter who's been a general manager, head coach, quarterback, that the front office has had the presence of some of the people who, from what I'm hearing, would not be able to have a job on any other franchise in the league. That's not to say that I would not give my family members jobs. I would, but probably not jobs that are better suited for people who are much better at identifying talent for my team. You know, as a business, I think that the Mara and Tish family are failing. You know, they're putting a product on the field that you cannot be proud of. You can't feel good about it. And shareholders, which are us, the fans, we are simply not pleased. In any other corporate environment in this country anyway, wholesale changes would have been made at this point. And I think that the wholesale changes also have to involve having competent, capable people at directing what those changes are going to look like, who those changes are going to be, what the new face is, the decision maker, the talent seeker for this team is going to be. And the Giants, unfortunately, they have not been able to do that and do it well, not for a long time. So I think that that's a big part of what the problem is with this organization. I also do want to point out that, you know, there's a lot of chatter going on right now about Jackson Dart, his play, and Mendoza being the potential number one overall pick in this year's draft, and the Giants already hold that pick. That people are saying that the Giants need to trade Dart now, have Mendoza, and pick up whatever other talent they can later on in the draft. And there's an argument for that. There's an argument that Mendoza fits the profile that you would want an NFL quarterback to be. He's 6'5", Heisman Trophy winner. He had a monstrous year last year. Threw for 33 touchdown passes. Just looks like the perfect specimen of what you would want in an NFL quarterback. But I really think the Giants found their guy with Jackson Dart, and there's an argument for that. You know, the guy's broken so many records in this league already, and he's been recognized by the NFL for his achievements through several Offensive Players of the Week nominations, and he's actually been that, and Offensive Player of the Month, or Rookie Offensive Player of the Month. So he's probably on track to get the Offensive Rookie Player of the Year award this year. Not if he keeps producing like what happened in yesterday's game, but I blame a large part of that on Mike Kafka and Tim Kelly for not preparing well for that Brian Flores defense. That defense just looked tremendous yesterday. And I've been like screaming from the mountaintops that I would love to see if the Giants could somehow bring Brian Flores in as our defensive coordinator, because I just think he's a very good coach. I don't think that it would take much for him to adjust to there isn't much he would have to do in terms of being ready to lead and change this Giants defense from what they are to what we hope they would have been coming into this season. When you look at the talent, sure, we're lacking in the middle linebacker position. Sure, we're lacking in the cornerback position. But we are not that far off in terms of talent. The biggest issue has obviously been depth and probably our secondary. Obviously, the defensive line and middle linebackers have not been stopping the front, but I don't think that's the rush. I don't think that's a talent issue. I think that that's a coaching issue in large part. I also think Andre Patterson's best days are behind him, and it's really time to move on from him. That's just my opinion. That's my perspective. Now, different people will feel differently, and that's okay too, because we're all Giants fans, and all we want to see is for our team to have some type of success that we can feel proud of. And this year, I think that we're all numb to the fact that we're just going to lose out the rest of the year. And as bad as they played yesterday against a Minnesota Vikings team who already came into the game dealing with a bunch of injuries, lost players in the game, including their franchise quarterback, had to bring in their backup, and he still went 7 for 9, and had Justin Jefferson have his best performance over the past, 10 games. So I think that the Giants, when you look at this franchise and you look at what Kafka did with Jackson Dart, he did him no favors. And Theo Johnson and Darius Slayton, for whatever reason, these guys just dropped pinpoint passes, and one of them turned into a, a, a turnover, an interception. Theo Johnson had the ball right in his hands and didn't catch it, squeeze the ball, bring it down, popped up, and there was a safety right there to pick it off. And thank God the defense, or the offense, turned into defense and was able to keep them out of the end zone. But our offense just looked woefully inept yesterday. Outside of Tyrone Tracy Jr. and Devin Singletary, who looked really good, by the way, we really had nothing going. We ended up losing Andrew Thomas with a hamstring injury yesterday. We already knew Runyon wasn't going to be coming in. And then John Michael Schmitz went out with a hand injury of some sort. I don't think we really missed anything with Schlottman in there because I think he did well. And Bo, first play of the game, I'm watching him line up, and I'm saying that's going to be a penalty. He's not lined up properly. Sure enough, it was a flag, and they threw a penalty. Overall, I think Bo's going to be a good player, but he definitely showed signs of he was cold coming off the bench. But I think he settled in okay, and he played all right. Stenny was just underwhelming at best. I still don't know how they destroyed Joshua Azudu, and he was drafted to be a guard, and they ruined him by trying to make him a tackle. And now you elevated Evan Neal, and then you don't bring him into the guard position. I don't know what they were doing. I really don't. But so the talk is get rid of Dart, bring in Mendoza. I don't believe that that's the strategy that they should employ. I think Dart is the guy. I also think we have a solid running backs room. I think once we can get these tight ends to make better catches or catch the ball, we've got a dynamic tight end room. I really like parts of our wide receiver room. I mean, we've got work to do, right? But I'm a firm believer that you trade down and you turn that whatever pick we end up in, and the Giants will fuck around and try to beat the Raiders this week and lose the game anyway. Have Geno Smith out there looking like Lamar Jackson of 2024. I don't know what's going to happen, but I wouldn't be surprised if we lost, nor would I be disappointed at this point. But I think that we keep Dart, we get draft picks, and we just, load our shopping bag up come draft time. Free agency, I haven't even begun to look at that yet, but it's a damn shame that the season isn't over. And us Giants fans universally are already looking forward to the draft because that's the only thing that we seem to win every year is a good pick in the draft. And it's a damn shame when your defense scores more points than your offense in a game. And that's what happened yesterday. I do want to say that Better Call Saul, our new kicker, he came in and he went to Pitt. He was a kicker out there and he played extremely well. He's used to swirling winds, cold temperatures, and performing under those conditions. And he came to MetLife Stadium yesterday and he dealt with some windy conditions, cold weather, and he performed well. He outperformed Graham Gano. He outperformed Younghoe Koo. And there was another guy that I can't think of his name right now, but he outperformed, to me. He outperformed all of them in one Sunday afternoon. Just one Sunday afternoon. 2 for 2 on field goal attempts and 1 for 1 on a PAT. And not for nothing, if Mike Kafka, who was aggressive, and I guess if he would have converted on that fourth down at the goal line and scored a touchdown, we would have been singing his praise. But if he would have gone for the field goal, that might have been a game that was tied and the Giants could have won. But who really cares at this point? The Giants aren't going anywhere. The only thing that a win does is satisfies the fan base and maybe some of the players, not even the fan base, some of the players. But overall, the Giants are not a very good team, and they've given us a lot of reasons to just shake our head and discuss and make the difficult decision to or not to wear a brown paper bag on Sunday afternoons. So that's just my thoughts on my drive into work today. This is therapy Monday for us. We don't even know what a victory Monday feels like anymore because we don't win. That's just what it is with the Giants. The New York Football Giants do not win football games. They do not. They know how to. I've seen them do it, but consistently or more often than not, they're going to lose the game. And we're going to be here talking about what went wrong again. Thank you for spending some time with me for this ride into work. I appreciate it. I'm still wearing my New York Giants stuff. I don't know if y'all can see it, but I rep no matter what. It doesn't matter. I'm true blue, bleed blue, thick and through. Go Big Blue.
Yeah, a lot of girls probably crying from my old high school. Look, they see me everywhere they go. I probably would too. Look, crossed over to the Jordan man like I'm Michael. Yeah, eating blessings so much I might need lipo. Yeah, tailored for the doves like I'm walking in chucks. Yeah, it's just in this plan, man, I see how y'all shook. Look, knew that I was great ever since I was a rook. Man, all y'all singles making me look good. Okay, praise to the Most High, yeah, that's Jesus. Look, but when it come to this rap thing, I can't lose. Yeah, back-to-back number ones, that's the thing greats do. Yeah, tell them boys that ain't nothing I can't do. It's my year. It's my year.